They said there's a young heavyweight in the Catskills called Mike Tyson. I'd never heard of Mike. I didn't know who he was. He was knocking men out left, right and centre. This 17-year-old phenomenon was just incredible. But I didn't know this. I was just happy to hear 17. I'd left school when I was 14 years of age. I was on the doors of nightclubs at 15. I was big for my age, but I hadn't got that man strength. And I didn't do good in school. I left school with 2 swimming certificates. But I believed I was going to make my fortune out of boxing. So I had no interest in school. Not that I would have been any good anyway. And when I heard 17, I just thought, he'll do for me. Because I'd been so used to fighting men. So when I got to the Catskills, I met Cuss, Camille, Manny, Jay, Tom Patty, the Hilton brothers. The 2 Hilton brothers were there. I think, there was a few champions there, George. It was incredible.
What was the environment like for you?
Beautiful.
Was it intimidating? Were they nice?
No. It was such a warm welcome. And then when I was introduced to Mike, he walked towards me, and I'm looking at him. I thought, he's 17, the same age. As it turns out, he's 6 months younger than me, several months younger than me. He was smaller than me, and he spoke with a bit of a lisp. And I thought, I'm going to batter you. I really believed in my head I had his measure, because I've been so used to fighting men. And he was so welcoming. He was fascinated about Barry McGuigan because of the relationship Mr. Eastwood and Barry McGuigan at the time was like a father-son relationship that him and Cuss had. He was fascinated about Irish boxing, the history of Irish boxing, the legends of Irish boxing. And me and him just hit it off. We walked and talked for hours. We went to the top of the house. He had the whole top of the house. And he had access to the biggest collection of fight footage. Jim Jacob and Bill Caitlin's had the biggest collection of fight footage. And he was watching it on the big screen. And it was just so lovely, the welcome that I had. It was like a home from home. The next morning we ran together, came back to the house, had some food, rested. Then we went to the minibus to go to the gym. And suddenly all these big, powerful men appeared. And they were walking very, very somber. They were walking like men walking to the gallows. But they knew what was coming. Stupid Paddy here didn't know what was coming. I was so relaxed, George. I was so comfortable. I thought, I'm bigger, I'm older, I'm more experienced. I've got his measure. Got to the gym, shadow boxed, bandaged up. Cuss said, right, glove up for sparring. I'm looking around. These big men were scared stiff. But I was so relaxed. Next one, I look into the ring, and Mike's pacing the ring, and his shirt off. His body, his physique was incredible. His biceps, his chest, his neck, incredible. I hadn't seen him stripped to the waist. Yeah. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, that's not the same 17-year-old boy I met yesterday. That's not the same 17-year-old boy I ran with this morning. That's not the same 17-year-old boy I sat next to in the minibus getting here. Yeah. Then Cuss pointed to one of the big men to get in. He was knocked spark out. I tell people, I say it all the time, I ruined a good pair of underpants at that moment in time. I shit myself. There's no way a 17-year-old should have that power. He knocked a couple more out. I got in, I got battered for 3 minutes, got out. A couple more, got in. Then I was back in again. I'd done 6 minutes with him that day. But the madness in me, George, because I do believe fighters have to have a little bit of madness in them. You know, I really do, and it's not insulting any fighter, but I just believe that there's a bit of madness in us all to fight and to want to fight. Yeah. And I believed in my mind, one day I'll get the better of you. I never did. I stayed on with him for 2 years, and it was probably the makings of me, because I took some serious punishment off that man over 2 years. He made me cry so many times. But psychologically, I believed if I could take Mike Tyson's punishment, I could take anybody's punishment, because he was such a power puncher. He used to speak to my mum on the phone regular. Oh, Mrs. Egan, chatting away, and she'd say to him, oh, Mike, thank you so much for looking after my son. But he was minding me as well. Even though he was battering me, he was minding me. I remember one time when Sugar Ray Leonard came to the gym. He came to the gym on 2 occasions while I was there. And Mike wanted to impress Ray Leonard because he was in awe of Sugar Ray Leonard, like a lot of fighters are. Yeah. And Mike savagely beat his sparring partners this day. Battered us to pubs. Ray Leonard didn't come to the house for food that day. He left after the gym. But the next time he came, 6 or several months later, I was still there. And I spoke to Ray. He said, you were here the last time I was here. He said, you're a very brave young man to come back. I said, I haven't left, I haven't gone.